Hello, everyone. I'm Chase Lee, and welcome to another episode of Real Reviews Live, where I'm going to review a movie live. And if you're watching, which no one really does, if you have any questions on the film, you can comment in the place where I'll pull my face and let me know. So what's on the review board today? That would be Good Kill, starring Ethan Hawke, January Jones, and it's written and directed by Andrew Niccol. Now, I'm going to say right off the bat, I did not care for this movie. I did not like it. So let me just tell you guys why. First of all, it's written and directed by Andrew Niccol, who has written one of my favorite movies of all time and wrote and directed one of the worst movies of 2013. One of my favorite films of all time is The Truman Show. He wrote that, and he wrote and directed The Host, which came out in 2013. It's based on a Stephenie Meyer novel, Kill Me Now. Oh, dear God. Anyways, he writes and directs this movie, and Ethan Hawke plays a pilot. He's been in the military for a very long time, and so the future is upon us, if you will, and drones are taking over. They're taking the place of actual pilots with people in them, and now it's just a machine going out there shooting people. And Ethan Hawke is operating the drones, but he's in a metal tin box, in what was it, Nevada? Yeah, I think it was like Nevada somewhere, and they're operating these drones across the world. So like that's kind of how they play up this film, is like the idea of a seasoned pilot being reduced down to just basically joysticking a drone, basically the simulation of playing a video game. And so I thought to myself, that's a really cool idea to explore. Does the PTSD still kind of happen within the person, and does it affect them even more now? Like, the only problem is they don't really explore anything. Those are some of the aspects that I would really love to have seen more development from Ethan Hawke's character, and just more of the psychological breakdown of like just what this is doing to him. Because he says throughout this movie he really wants to get back in there and get in an actual plane and start fighting. And he's doing drones. So, and then of course he has a wife played by January Jones. So it's the typical military movie where it's got the home life and the work life, and we've all seen it before. And this was no different. It's like the home life was very bland, very boring. January Jones's character is just underdeveloped, and she does stuff out of the blue and just makes you just kind of hate her. And just this movie didn't flow well. It was like scenes within the metal tin box, operating these drones, and there was some good tension, I guess, like some good tension of the drones flying around. They're trying to hit their target and stuff, and it just, I don't know, I felt jarring going from that to the home life, and then scenes would just end, and there was really no fluidity to it. It was just, like I said, very jarring. So the scenes didn't really match up with the story, which was already bland and not really creative to begin with. If they would have explored all that and really developed everything fully, it probably would have been a better film. They also bring in the government to try to regulate the drones and stuff and who they shoot, and the government's like, they're shooting random people and they're authorized to do that. That's great, but they don't really go any further than that. It's like, oh, hi, who do you want to kill? Kill? Okay, kill. That's it. It's like, this is really affecting Ethan Hawke. You can tell in his face. It's just, there's really nothing explored on it. It's just like, it happens, it's gone, goodbye. And then there's an unnecessary romance between Zoe Kravitz, his character, and Ethan Hawke's character, and it's like, why? I don't understand. And it's like, Ethan Hawke's character is like worse off at the end of the movie than he is at the beginning. So like, those are my problems I have with like the story and like the direction of this film. It's just, it seemed like a complete jumbled mess that didn't really explore anything. They just really just scratched the surface, and they weren't really creative with anything. It's just kind of like they were in the metal tin box and they go home, metal tin box home. It's just, it seemed very repetitive. There was no creativity put involved at all. There was no depth to anything, to the story, to this great idea that Andrew Niccol had. It's just he didn't explore it a lot more. So those are my problems I have with the directing and the writing and such. The acting, January Jones, listen, I think she's attractive by all sense of the word. I have only seen her in a certain amount of movies, and I've seen her in the show The Last Man on Earth. I have not seen her in Mad Men, but her acting just seems very bland, and like it's always the same in everything she does. I have found her enjoyable in The Last Man on Earth, but that's about it. Everything else is just kind of like she does the same thing. It's kind of like, and like when she gets mad, it's like it's the same monotone kind of expression. She wasn't really developed that well, and it's like she was kind of a throwaway. And that's all I gotta say about her. Zoe Kravitz's character, she's kind of like the co-pilot to Ethan Hawke throughout the movie. She's fine, but it's like, okay, like she really hates what they're doing and stuff. And Ethan Hawke is very like, he's like a robot. Like he's given orders and he does those orders. Versus her, where like she kind of questions the morality of what they're doing by shooting random people from these drones. Because like there's a couple scenes in the movie where like really violent sexual stuff happens in the Middle East, and the drone's watching it, and you can see in Ethan Hawke's face, it's kind of like, oh wow, we need to kill this person. It's like there's no commanding staff behind him, so it's kind of conflicting and stuff. So I get that, but it's like at the same time, like she was just kind of there. And Ethan Hawke, man, I love you, dude, I really do. But this one was just kind of like, it was bland. It was a bland character that you were portraying, and there was really no depth. And there were certain characteristics of him and certain traits that would just happen out of the blue, happen out of nowhere. He would just get really angry and start throwing stuff, and then it's just really never mentioned again. And it's like, I understand the PTSD part and stuff, but like, why didn't we explore that a little bit more and stuff? It's like there's so many things attacked, like as far as ideas go, and like they were like kind of going towards them a little bit, but then they would just kind of draw back and they wouldn't really pursue them. So the acting is just kind of so-so. I guess if you want to say the best person would be Ethan Hawke. Cinematography, it's kind of I mean, some of the drone shots are cool when they're kind of going throughout the Middle East and stuff. But other than that, it's like they're literally in this metal tin box, and it's literally his home life. It's not really like a well-shot war film. So it's just kind of so-so. As far as the pace and the editing goes, like I said, it's really jarring. It's just like a scene would happen, and it would just end. And it didn't really have any conclusion of that scene to kind of like transition well into the next scene. It just kind of ends and jumps. And I felt it kind of dragged down a little bit, especially when they go from the metal tin box to home and they're just going back and forth. It's really repetitive and you get bored by it. And I didn't find the rhythm of this thing to be exact. It was just kind of all over the place. This idea is so good. It's a modern war film of a pilot who's been fighting in planes his whole life, who is now being, like he's sitting in a chair now, like controlling a drone from thousands of miles away. And they even make a good reference in the movie. It's like, it used to be the Air Force, but now it's the Chair Force. That's brilliant. I don't know why we didn't make this cool modern war idea and just expand upon it. Just felt like everything was scratched on the surface, but nothing was ever explored. So, because I like Ethan Hawke, and there's a couple redeemable moments, I give this thing a 2 out of 10. I don't think it's worth your time. If you're a fan of Ethan Hawke like I am, I don't think this is the one. And that saddens me because I love Andrew Niccol as a writer, and I like Ethan Hawke so much. I don't understand. So those are my problems with the movie, because they're mostly problems. Have you seen Good Kill? Or if you even heard of it, comment in the place to rope on my face and let me know. No one watched live, so there are no questions. So I'm going to go and wrap this up. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, share this around. Spread to your friends and tell them that a new reviewer is in town. Yeah, spread it around like a good disease somewhere. So that made no sense. All right. I'll see you guys next time for whatever I review next. Goodbye.